So I want us to watch this video, and then we have Mr. Shola coming to grace us and tell us a bit about business strategy. All right?
One, two, one, two.
right? Me, I'm still baby and growing my career, but he's definitely in the bigger place in my industry. And most of the time, based on the people I've spoken to in my industry, they always hate. I don't know why. There's this bad blood that, oh, I beg, I'm not going to tell you the secret. Go find out yourself. Do you understand? They don't want you to know. And actually, it's not even about, I'm sure it happens to a lot of people. Some places that we have actually gone to, it's not a lot of people that actually tell you how to make the money. They can maybe filter the words. After you're paid 100,000, 200,000, you're going to ask yourself, why did I even spend my money on this when I didn't even get the exact thing I wanted to get, right? And I will just send Mr. Shola a message. After that, I got to know Mr. Shola after my mentor, and then I sent Mr. Shola messages. I'm like, Mr. Shola, sir, I don't know this thing, can you explain me? And he will help me. And I'm so, in fact, when I actually, my mentor, Mr. Shola, when I was thinking about who to have here, in fact, I was scared to tell Mr. Shola because I'm like, hey, all the way from Lagos. It's not like we're so close like that, right? How am I able to tell Mr. Shola that I want him here, right? I want him to come to Abuja to support me, to speak to young minds, to speak to young creatives, to speak to you guys. And I'm like, oh my God, God, you have to help me. So I sent him a message, and in fact, it was just so easy. He didn't ask me for a penny. Mr. Shola being here from all the way from Lagos, he didn't ask for a penny to be paid. He didn't ask for flight tickets. He didn't ask for anything. Please, with a good, warm, and standing up on your feet, please help me to celebrate this amazing man that we have here. Please help me to celebrate by clapping your hands, please. Please help me to celebrate. Thank you so much, Mr. Shola. I am so grateful for you being here. God bless you, and I'm hoping that you're going to have a great time with Mr. Shola. Please, more and more. Thank you. Good morning.
Wow. check.
Anything else? Anybody anything different from modeling, beauty, fashion?
AOP.
So it looks like I'm gonna have to shout.
What's AOP?
Presenter, radio presenter.
Oh, OAP.
Oh, sorry, OAP, sorry.
Okay, online air personality. Okay. Do you have a station you're working at? Which one? Yeah, okay. Are you in? Presenter. Okay. That's good. All right. So, as much as I know the industry some of you are involved in, I try and tailor my talk to those sort of industries. Okay. So, in the beauty industry, for example, how do you, when you sell products, is that it? See, so this is the issue I have. You run a business. Imagine I'm an investor and I come to you and I say to you, what business do you do? And you say you do skincare, whatever. And you say you want 10 million naira from me to invest in your business. And I ask you about your business and you go, we sell products. And I say, what else? And you go, do you know what's going to happen with my 10 million naira? I will walk away. You must know business. You had your hand up. What other things do you in skincare?
I create perfumes and I sell original perfumes.
Okay. So she's added, is that the main thing you do, just creating and selling perfumes? Or is there anything else? And you do diffusers. So you have a few things that you do. But your primary thing that you just do is sell. Yes? Now, do you think that just selling is going to make you all the money in the world? So you have to add some additional things to your business. Now, I do hear a lot of people say, oh, we have to have multiple streams of income. Yes? So you see somebody selling clothes, they're selling pure water, they're making shoes, they're cooking in their house and selling food. That streams of income. All right? You think it is, but it's not going to make you money. Does anybody understand why that will not make you money? From a business perspective, yes.
Because you're not,
You can say that, you can say that.
What defines you in your business?
Very good. Time. Explain that a little bit more.
Hours in a day, so you can only do maybe 3 hours here, 4 hours here, 5 hours there, so you're not pouring in the same effort into everything.
Yeah, so time is an issue.
Same efforts you would put in one by getting more results that
Yes. Another major thing that will affect you if you have too many different streams of business that are not interconnected is the fact that you are taking money from one part of the business which might be successful and put it into the other side of the business that is not making that much money. So when you look at it, it actually means that you're just remaining level. You're not actually growing. Okay? Plus you're being distracted. So you can't focus on trying to build your business. Now someone might say, oh, but Mr. Mahogany, you have many different streams of business. But all my businesses are interconnected. So for example, I have an events management business, okay? We have a rental business. But do you know what our rental business focuses on? It focuses on fashion accessories, hangers, railings. We have a communication system which works for the event industry. It's still interrelated. We have our runway shows and we have a modeling agency. So if I'm doing a runway show, I've already got models that I can put into the runway show, so I can make money from being told to produce the show. I can also make money by providing the models for the show. I can then also make money again from that same show by providing all the equipment for the runway show. And if I'm lucky, I can also produce the show as well. So from one client, I can get them to pay me 4 different ways. It's all interconnected. So what has happened here is that my spending level might be 5 million. But because I'm earning from 4 different people, I suddenly make 20 million instead of maybe making 6 or 7 million. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Connect the dots. You are an OAP. Being on the radio is fantastic, but what you should also be trying to do is getting into presenting or hosting shows. That will make you additional money. Can you do voiceovers for advertising? That will also make you money. You start to see where I'm coming from. But if you now suddenly stay right, I'm going to be an OAP, the next minute I'm going to be cooking for my house, next minute I'm going to be a designer, it doesn't really make you money because you're just kind of staying level. And in some business, as with how businesses are, you have your good days and your bad days. So when you're having your bad days, it definitely means that the money that you're making from when it was good has to go into the money from when it's not working so well. So if you're a fashion designer, for example, you'll be saying to yourself, okay, how do I make money? The first thing you're going to say is, I sell clothes. Oh, you're a fashion designer. Why can't you also be a stylist? Style for people. You could also be, if you wanted to add something to your business, you could set up maybe a personal shopping business. Because you understand clothes, you understand people, you understand bodies. You say, okay, listen, did you know that people, I don't know how well it's done. Well, no, it's done here, because I don't feel like styling. They charge an absolute fortune to do personal shopping for you. So you've got an event, they come in, they style you for the event, they go with you to the shopping mall, and they buy clothes. Do you know that there are shops that pay personal shoppers money to bring clients to them? These are different streams of income that are interconnected. Models believe the only way they can make money is by walking the runway. Do you know that people that do runway walking make the least amount of money in the modern business? Yeah. Runway is nice, it's show, it's glamour. But it doesn't pay that well. If you want to really make the money, get into commercial modeling. That's billboards, that's TV advertising. Yes? Turn yourself into a brand. Yes? That's what you have to do. The other thing that you have to do, if you really want to grow your business, is you've got to create value. Does anybody understand what I mean when I say you have to create value? If you're running a business, your business has to create value.
You have to execute, and in business there's something called the pain point. So when you create value, you have to give solutions. So when people go through your page, or when they think of you, they know, okay, if I have an issue like skin care now, somebody has hyperpigmentation, they can know that, okay, that's the pain point that people suffer. They can go to her and say, okay, oh, I remember she talks about hyperpigmentation and how to solve it. So that's creating value in a way that even if they don't want to purchase from you because they believe you know what you're doing in the business, they will definitely buy from you, or they will use you to learn more, and when they eventually want to buy, they will buy from you. They can refer people to you and say, okay, I have dry skin, but she talks a lot about oily skin. So you can patronize her because she knows a lot about things.
Okay, you're partly there, but if I use your example about you go to our website or Instagram page and you see that she provides a service. But as I scroll through Instagram, I see creating something that people want to come back to you. You're providing a good service. You deliver what you say you're going to deliver. it's affordable to the particular client that you are catering to. And I was very specific about that. I said the type of client you are catering to. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by that, yes? I could buy a Toyota Corolla, okay? Let's say a Corolla costs, which is a car, just in case some of you don't know, Toyota costs, I don't know, let's just say for the sake of argument, 5 million naira, okay? I could also buy a Rolls Royce, but a Rolls Royce costs 50 million naira. They're both cars, yes? Would we agree? Yeah, they both do the same thing. Yes, hello?
Yes.
I like interaction. Don't just look at me, talk back, okay? So they're both cars, they both have, they provide the same sort of service, but there's a different price point. Now, Toyota might sell in 1 year 10 million cars. A Rolls Royce might only sell 1,000 cars. Now, a lot of you in your head might be thinking, I think it's better to do Toyota because I'm going to sell more cars. Is that right? That's what a lot of you might think, but that's not necessarily the case. You times your 100 by 10 million and you times your 1,000 by 100 million. You see the difference? You just do a quick calculation. Rolls-Royce is catering to a particular type of client. They don't want to sell 100,000 cars. If you want to buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, do you know the waiting list in some cases is 5 years? And people are paid for it in full and are waiting 5 years before they collect it. They know the market that they're targeting. So that's what you also have to do in your business. Know your market. Yeah? Some of you think that, oh, you want to be like a Vicky James and charge, I don't know, $10,000 for a dress. She's creating a market for herself. You can't all do that. Some of you might have to do ready to wear, where you're only charging 1,000 naira for a dress. But you know you can make as much money as her, if not more. So you have to have value. I have clients, and I see my sister, Mrs. A, has joined us there, that come to us and they say, we'd like you to do an event. And they say, and we give them our bill, and they say, it's too much. We say, okay, we'll give you a tiny discount. A tiny discount. They say, I know it's too much. So what most of you would do, might say, okay, how much can you afford? Is that what you say? Yes? Most of you? No? What would you do? If they come to you and they say they want more of a discount, what would you do? Talk now.
Ask them what their budget.
You ask what their budget is. What else?
You can ask what their budget is and then give them part of their budget.
You can give them what?
The service, part of their budget.
Per their budget. Yes, so that's one way of doing it. But what happens if their budget and the way you do business are not meeting? You do what? You decline. How many of you would decline? Be honest. So a few of you decline. The rest of you will say, what can you do? I will do it for what you can do. Yes? That may not be creating value. Yeah? Because for me, for example, I've pitched myself at a certain level. And I'll say to the client, no disrespect, no problem. Let me recommend you to an event planner that can do it for you at your price point. I say, why? Can't you do it? No, because that's not what I charge. I built my business to a certain level. I value myself at this particular level. So that means that I will not go below a certain standard. The truth of life is, if you want cheaper, you can always find cheaper. That is guaranteed. If you want cheaper, you can always find cheaper. I know how many jobs myself and Mrs. A, we've walked away from jobs. We said, sorry, we can't do it. And some people might say to you, you're being arrogant. You're not being arrogant. It's your business. You cannot be running a business where you make a loss. Okay? Time is money. Do you know that? You might say, okay, I'm not actually spending anything. So if they're going to give me, I don't know, 100,000 to be an OAP, it's okay. Think of it another way. What happens if you stayed at home, worked on the laptop, network, reach out to people? Do you know in potential future business, you'll make far more than that 100,000 in that same amount of hours? You're still going to do transport, you're still going to eat, yes? You're still trying to build a business so that you can reinvest in your business. And just because you think you want money, you say you take any kind of job. And then at the end of the year, you look at your bank account, and your bank account is not banking. And you think, but I've been working. What happened to the money? Do you know that, you know Coca-Cola, yes? The drink Coca-Cola. Does anybody know what it costs to make one bottle of Coca-Cola, roughly? Does anybody know what the cost is? No? To make a bottle of Coca-Cola in Nigeria, give or take, is about 2 naira. How much do they sell it for? 500 naira. Now, yes. So, however, how much of that 500 naira do you think is profit? Huh? 480. 498 is profit. Okay? Any other? About 300. Why do you say 300? That means 200 has disappeared. Why do you say that?
Because of transportation,
Exactly. She's got it spot on. Alright? It is not just what it costs to make it, it's the cost of the product. They've got taxes, they've got warehouse space, they've got transportation, they've got drivers, they've got marketing. They've got all those things. They've got to print labels. There's so many other additional things that go into that. So by the time they finish, I'm not going to say that they're not going to make money, but maybe out of the 500 that is there, maybe if they're doing a 30% markup, they're making about 150 naira profit per bottle. So you've got to remember that in your business and when you're pricing. It's not just you hear 100,000, oh, that sounds good. How much are you going to spend out of that 1,000, out of that 100,000 or whatever, on other things? The other thing I want to ask you is this. While we're talking about value and we're talking about money, who likes negotiating? So when we say negotiating, you come to me to do your skincare and you tell me it's 100 naira for a bottle. I say, madam, I'm not paying you 100 naira. I have 50 naira. Who likes to negotiate? I say, I know I can't give you 100 naira. Does anybody like it? Or most of you say, sir, please, can you add this? Can you add small to it? Who does what? Who does, can you add small? Or who will negotiate? You're not saying this now. You're not saying this now. Because I know how many of you are models that do jobs and you do not have an idea as to how much they're paying you and you're doing the job. And you say you can negotiate. Why would you ever, and I'm talking to models in particular, do a job without even knowing right from the beginning what the fee is going to be? So you do the job and after that, and I'll give you 10,000, you start crying. It's your fault. Serves you right. Because you should have asked so that if it doesn't work for you, you can say no. Or if you build up value as a supermodel and they're telling you that they're going to pay you 10,000, and you say, sorry, I don't do any job less than 50,000. You mustn't be scared to negotiate. And more importantly, like I said earlier, you mustn't be scared to walk away. There's no point doing a job for a loss. unless there's some added value in that particular job. Because sometimes there's some jobs you do that are added value. I'm going to give you an idea. I hope it's not going to go onto. Please don't put this, Jennifer, don't put this bit onto any recording you're doing. GT Bank. I do GT Bank Fashion Weekend. Okay, I produce that show. Everybody that looks at it, Mr. Shaw, you're making money. You're making money, GT. Do you know something? GT is one of my least paying jobs.
Wow.
You will not believe that. GT is my least paying job. Because of how they run things, they're very tight, the negotiation is serious. But you know why I've been doing that show for 8-9 years? Because when I walk into any office, any event, and I say I do GT Fashion Weekend, do you know the first thing most clients say to me? Mr. Mahogany, we don't have GT money, we don't have GT money. But we want to use you. Of course, inside, I said, if you knew what GT money was, you'd be so happy to have me. But I said, okay, I know you don't have GT money, but you're going to have to come up with something reasonable. So instead of starting here in their pricing, they're already starting here. So what I'm trying to say is that I may not make tons of money from GT. Don't get me wrong, I don't make a loss. Don't get it wrong, I don't make a loss. I may not make tons of money from GT, but the profiling, the credibility, who they are as a client opens so many doors for me, and it also increases my price point. So what I'm trying to say, there might be some jobs that you do that you may not necessarily make loads of money, but by having that client or by doing that job, it will take you to the next level. Let's say you're a model, for example, and you do either GT, or you do Lagos Fashion Week, or you do Epic Show. The moment you've done those, people are like, oh wow, you must be good. So what happens? Immediately they're doing a casting, they think, oh, we want her. It's made it easier for you to start getting jobs. All right, so please bear that in mind when it comes to value, pricing. Know your client. Who are your client? If you're doing skincare products, who are your clients? You know you've got different ranges of skincare. You can go in and buy Clinique, for example, and so sometimes when I look at the prices of Clinique, I feel like I can buy a house. It's so expensive. Just to rub cream on my face. Me, I will go Nivea. Yes, that much. You know what? For some people, they cannot use anything less than those type of products. So know your market, all right? And don't always think that being the most expensive is where you're going to make money. If I were to look at designer and I look at, not even designer, if I was to look at retail outlet, I don't know, who's ever heard of Primark? You heard of Primark, yes. Primark is what I call cheap and cheerful. You go in there with your $10, £10, whatever it is, you come out with bags. Bags. What they're about is mass selling. That's what they're about. If I buy this shirt from, I don't know, Armani, for example, it might cost me £100. If I go into Primark, I can buy 50 of these shirts for £100. So they go to China, Korea, wherever they go, as cheaply as possible. People that use them understand that. During COVID, you know they were one of the only companies that made a profit during COVID. When the world was shut down for close to 2 years, they were the only company making profit. They didn't need loans, they didn't need investment, they didn't need anything. Because why? Who had money during COVID? Who was working? So they were still selling cheap and cheerful, which people could afford. Right? So know your market. Decide who you want to do. Another important thing and I find this a lot in Nigeria, and I really don't understand it. You guys don't like to sign contracts or agreements. Why? I'm confused. You come to me and I say, okay, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. I say, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And I'm waiting for the agreement to come. Me at my age, I suffer from amnesia. So what happens when you come back to me later and come and say, but excuse me, sir, you agree that you're going to pay me 50,000? I say, me, I don't remember that. Me, 50,000, you, why? I said, okay, no problem. If I said it, show me the agreement. But sir, you told me. Show me the agreement now. Then I know a lot of you like to say, a verbal agreement is a contract. Come and prove it. Take me to court and prove to the judge that I said what I said. Because it becomes your word against my word. Even if you bring witnesses that say that I said that, I'll say, sorry, that's a misinterpretation of what I said. I might say that, yes, I was going to pay you 50,000 as a bonus if you delivered. Now I'll prove that that wasn't what I had in my head. Always sign a contract or have an agreement. Do you know a contract can be as simple as a WhatsApp message? It doesn't always have to be a formal written document from a solicitor and so on and so on. It can be very simply a WhatsApp message or an email. I know most of you don't like emails, and some of you don't even know what emails are anymore, but WhatsApp message, write it, type it, send it, and get them to acknowledge it, saying yes, no, or whatever it is. That's your contract. And then screenshot it so they can't, because you know with WhatsApp now you can delete the message. Screenshot it, save it. That's your evidence, that's your proof, that's your contract. Don't be afraid to try and get an agreement because you're worried that if you do, they're going to walk away. If they walk away because they're not happy with your agreement, it either means that your agreement was going too much in the direction that they didn't want to go in, or maybe they're just not very trustful people. Let me use that kind of word. To do like this are the first ones that never want to sign anything. Okay? So don't be afraid to sign contracts, okay? And to do an agreement. In my office, I tell everybody, anything you do with a client, you must CYA. And that is cover your ass. If you ask anybody in my organization, they know what cover, even with me. If they come into my office and say, excuse me, sir, we want to buy this thing. Excuse me, sir, we want to buy this thing. Yes? And it's going to do this on you. Will you agree? And I say yes. The next thing they're doing, they send me a WhatsApp message saying, further to our conversation, you said that we can buy this thing and this is the cost. Please confirm. There and then, because I've just said it, I'm typing back, agreed. But imagine you come back to me 5 weeks later, I say, maybe I didn't say it. I've denied it, I did not say it. Then that person's in trouble, okay? So, networking, is networking important? Why? You get to meet clients, you get to meet new people. What else? You know, some of the most successful people that I know in business, yes, some of them are the most useless people in business. That may not make sense. I said some of the most successful people in business are sometimes some of the most useless people at business. Do you know why they're successful? They know how to network. You know those people that walk into, hello, I'm so happy to meet you. I'm so and so, this is what I do, blah, 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 blah. Then you that is running a proper business, very successful, everything you do is perfect. You're standing in the looking very quiet, nobody knows you. And then this other person comes out and says, ah, man, I just signed a 50 million deal. And you know that that person is not very good at what they do. You know it. We all know people in our industry. We know those that are good and we know those that are not good. But we see a lot of people that are not good making tons of money. It's just simply because they know how to network. They know how to talk to people. They know how to sell their business. One of the things that I'm going to say to each of you now, yes? There's this thing, has anybody heard of it? It's called the elevator pitch. Or in Nigeria, we call it lift. Does anybody know what that is? You do. What is it?
It's basically being able to sell yourself in 2 minutes or less.
Yes. Go right. Basically, the elevator pitch or lift pitch is, we feel that if you walk into a lift with Elon Musk, for example, or Donald Trump, or Tony Elemelu, any of those kind of people, yeah? You've never met him before, you walk into a lift, he's going to the 10th floor, it's going to take 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to sell yourself to that person. So it can't be like when I ask you before and you go, the lift is over. You say thank you, bye, and it's gone. 2 minutes to sell. Practice what your pitch is in 2 minutes. So if I ever see you again and say, what do? You quickly come and say, well, I'm an event producer, I produce events around the world, I have a fashion business, I do runway shows, I'm a presenter, I'm a speaker. Yeah, I'm a multi-award winning personality. I've worked with some of the best brands from GT to Union Bank to this person to that person. Yes, I'm turning over at the moment a 1 billion naira business, so on and so forth. What I'm looking for from you is connections, funding, and also to work with your, whatever part of a company wants to work with. I've done that in less than 1 minute. He's most likely not going to do business with me there and then, but what he's going to do is give me his card and say, give me a rate. Okay, so you've got to be able to sell your business in that time. Successful people, we don't have time. If you come to me, I'm one of the most impatient people you can ever. If you come to me and say, good afternoon, sir. So happy to meet you, sir. I've looked at you from afar for so long. I love what you are doing. What do you want? That's what I said to you. What do you want? Because I don't believe you're just coming to glamour me, because the next thing you want to most likely say is, I'd love to be your mentee, or, you know, I'm having an event. Get to the point. Because we don't have time, because most likely as you're coming and saying all that, somebody else is dragging me from the left. If Stella is around my EA here, she said, excuse me, sir, I have to go. She's literally pulling me. I'm saying, sorry, bye, sorry. So you've got to be fast, you've got to be to the point, you've got to know what you're doing. Okay, I've only got about 10 minutes left, so what I want to do for the last 10 minutes is please answer any questions that you have about running a business, how to make money, what are the key things you need to do. Any questions? So you're all going to leave here and you're going to make a fortune overnight, yes? Because you all know how to run a business properly, successfully. You all know how to make money.
So my question is now, for me now as a fashion designer, I'm trying to build my own branch. And you said something about creating value, adding value to yourself. So me now, I want to ask a question now, creating that value now, our audience sometimes, the kind of audience we are targeting, it's, should I say that it kind of limits me, because actually I'm a student, for example. So now if I'm trying to and most students will want to come to me for me to make dresses for them and style them. So setting that value for them, the value I'm setting now, maybe what I charge regular customers, maybe adults and maybe working class people, it's not the same thing I can charge students. So I want to ask her, how do I go about that?
Okay, do you hear a question? So she's a designer. At the moment, she's selling most of her clothes to designers. And I think what you're trying to say is that the students, most of you are close to students. And what you're trying to say is students have no money. That's the long and short of it. They don't have any money. Okay, so, do you know, when I was in school, and I'm assuming I must be the same now, there are different levels of students.
Yes.
There are those that have no money, some money, and lots of money. Change your target audience. Number one, try and find the students that have money, and you know where they are. When I was in school, they used to belong to certain clubs. You know, because if you didn't have money, you didn't get into those type of clubs. Or they ate at certain types of places. Because I'm assuming it's still the same on campus now. There's some places you eat if you have money, and then there's the other places you eat when you don't have as much money. So target those. At the same time, be building up your business for outside of school. Why do students have to be your only target market? With Instagram, with social media nowadays, the world is your market. It doesn't have to be just students. So if the students you are going to at the moment are not the ones that can make you money, find the ones that can afford your clothes, find the ones that can afford your clothes. Okay? Change your audience, change your market. You have to change your strategy. People do it all the time. You have a question?
So you mentioned adding value. So for a model, let's say supermodels now, to be able to get to Paris Fashion Week, they will need a portfolio that has, let's say, Lagos Fashion Week and the likes. So what does adding value look like for two models? They've done almost the same type of work. How one was able to get to Lagos Fashion Week and the other was not. But they've done other small runway shows in schools, in communities, and the other person's portfolio looks impressive, even though you don't know the details. But this person somehow was able to land the Lagos Fashion Week that made people say, maybe this person can also do Paris and the likes.
Well, this is where reality comes into check now. Okay? Not everybody's going to make it. Sometimes it's luck, chance, in the right place at the right time. You are very good, but not everybody's going to make it. Unfortunately, that is life. Right? So you also have to understand that if you're a model and you're only getting the community jobs, you've been going for all the casting for GT, for Epic, for Lagos Fashion Week, and you're never getting into those shows, no matter how good you feel you are, then maybe, I'm not saying, the thing is, don't always give up. I say don't give up. But then again, you might be saying that maybe this is not the career for me. I look at lawyers, for example. Do you know that there are lawyers that charge you 100 naira an hour? And there's lawyers that charge you 1,000,000 naira an hour. And they read the same law. They even most likely went to the same university. But the person charging 1,000,000 naira an hour is much better than the person that's charging 100. So sometimes, I mean, I look at loads and loads, I've looked at millions of models, so to speak. And I can look at a model and say, I'm sorry, you'll make a living, you won't make money. Do you understand the difference between making a living and making money? Making a living means that you pay your bills, you get by, you'll be okay. But making money, that's the one that takes you to the Bahamas, first class, business class. That's the one that buys you your Chanel bag. Okay? That's the difference. So unfortunately, you've got to look at other things you can change in yourself to make it work, or do you have the look to be a Lagos model, Lagos Fashion Week model? Because there's certain types of models that they're looking for. Study what is the current look. That's why I'm saying all of you have to understand your business, and a lot of you don't. Look at Milan, look at Paris, look at the faces, because each season have a particular type of look that they're going for. Many years back, what they liked was very dark models that were not very pretty, skinny, not very pretty. You know, Alec Weck, that kind of real kind of African, big lips, you know, that kind of look. Now they're going for a more softer, prettier look. You know, very sort of lean features. You have to know what it is. There's no point if you're a little bit chubby going to say, oh, I'm going to be on Milan Fashion Week. Know your business.
How do we navigate, like for example, we have a lot of people that comes to us and we want to get our knowledge and idea on what we do. So there are people that are there to come and use you, not that they want to patronize you. Like for instance, I was in a shop and a man just came in and he said he wanted to do pedicure and he was asking for something extra, which I was trying to like wrap my head around it. So how do we manage people like that? Because they are almost everywhere.
Okay, so the question she was just asking me is, how do you manage people that literally want to come and take your information to possibly set up their own type of business or to do the same thing that you're doing? All right? Do you know that happens in every single industry?
Yes.
There is no industry that has not happened. But if you're good at what you do, nobody can take your blessing from you. Nobody. That's why I don't have a problem. You come to me and say, I want to set up a modeling agency. I will sit down with you and tell you how to set up your modeling agency. It doesn't bother me. What is mine is mine. But it's mine because I'm good at what I do. If you're not good at what you do, then you have a problem. But if you hide the information, I can still get it. Whether I get it from you, I get it from somebody else. So I'm not really that bothered. That doesn't mean that you have to give your trade secrets away, particularly in your own case. If you're making your own makeup, you mustn't give your formulas away. That's your proprietary information, your intellectual property. So that one you mustn't give away. But if someone says to you, oh, where do you go and buy your stuff from? I say, I get it from Alaba market. If you want to, I'm not saying you have to, but if you want to, let them be walking around the market, so you'll find the person in the end. All right? So be confident in what you do as a business. Be confident in who you are. All right? No one can take your blessings away from you. If you're good at what you do, you don't need to worry about it. When Jennifer came to me and said, oh, she has questions, she asked me about contracts, she asked me about buyout, she asked me about this, she asked me about, I'll tell her, don't bother me. She's doing her own business, she'll get her money. Me, I will still make my money. And if she's doing something better than me, I will then go back to her and say, come, what did you do? Like, now better, because you are now better than me. I will now go to her and say, now come and teach me, what am I doing wrong? And she might tell me, well, you know you don't like going out. So me, I go everywhere. I talk to anybody and everybody. Now I might say, okay, that's the difference. Let me stay in my lane, because that's just not what I'm good at. And understand in business what you are good at and what you are not good at. Miss Day and I work together a lot. We both do events. But she's a specialist in doing all these kind of big events and all that sort of stuff. You know my specialty is? My specialty is in production. But she says, please, me, I don't know about production. I don't even want to get involved in it. So what she just says is, shut up, event. Come and do production. Please. I don't have a problem with it. Sometimes we'll do our own events. Sometimes we work with her. It's not a problem. Right? Understand your strengths. And if you don't have that particular strength, like designers are very creative people. But most of the time they know nothing about business. Bring in a business manager. Get a partner that understands business. Let them run the business. And you do the creative work. Stop trying to be a jack of all trades. I think that's the last question.
Okay, sir, it's not actually a question. I wanted giving her a suggestion. She said she's a student, and I've been in business for over 10 years. I do food stores, but I want to just give you tips that you could go with that will help your business as a student. You don't limit yourself. You sell things, clothes, like you said, clothing. Have you ever thought of working with the dealers to organize a kind of, this would attract students, like a mini trade fair that will bring, not just trade fair, there are other events that will come up, but you liaise with DOS in your school, do a mini trade fair for students that will bring a lot of students, and not just your clothes, probably other products that other people want to sell for that day. It will announce you, and also You could start with doing a flyer where you stick on every department what you sell with your number and what you're selling. That people seeing that it's your face, your name will be.
Even lecturers might come and buy from you as well. Okay? Don't limit yourself. So pay her consultancy money. I'll just give you an idea. So just to round things up, sorry, they told me my time is up. I know you got more questions, but they're telling me I need to wrap up. So I do apologize. I'll still be around for a few minutes if there's time that you can come and ask me things at the back. But remember, your talent's a gift. Okay? But talent alone is not a business. Yeah? A business requires strategy, systems, relationship, and courage. Some people are not meant for business, and you also need to remember that. Sorry? Okay. So, your talent is a gift, but talent alone is not a business. A business requires strategy, requires systems, requires relationship, and requires courage. And as I always say to people that not everybody should be running a business. I don't know why in Nigeria everybody feels going to run a business. Do you know there are people that are executives that work with companies make far more money than people that run their own business? Business has a lot of stress, so it's not easy. So the future belongs to the creative who understands both creativity and commerce. The person who knows how to create value and communicate value. The person who knows how to build relationships and build revenue. The person who understands that success is not an event, but it is a system. So guys, I'm hoping that from years from now, when people ask you about your journey, you not simply say you were talented, you will say you built something and not just anything. I want you to be able to build something sustainable, impactful, profitable, okay? Because you're running a business to make money, all right? You have built something that actually makes you money. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your time.
All right. I'm supposed to use this mic. Okay. All right. Please, can we celebrate him once again? All right. So, one or two things. I'm going to just take what you learned from this class. 2 people. So, can one or 2 persons tell me what you learned from this class? Okay. If you don't talk, I'll just go. I'll go to you. All right.
Time is money. I learned that time is money, and we should have our own value and what makes us stand out in the business.
So, in your business, what do you plan to do next for your business strategy? What do you plan to do next?
Okay, what I plan to do is not to do everything that is related to skincare aspects. I'll just select what I know that are my strengths. Yeah. So that's what I want to start.
Please, can we celebrate her? Thank you. One more person before we. One more person. Okay.
Okay, I learned that strategy is really. Okay, my name is Jesse Matthew. I'm an editorial model. Yes. Okay, so what I learned is strategy is really important in business or branding, because you might have a business plan, you might know how to run it, but if you don't have the right strategy, you're not going to make money from it.
Thank you. All right. So the next, I have so much to say for my mother in the industry. I call her my mother in the industry. Ha. If I start talking, I'm not sure we'll leave here today. But for her to be here, it takes a it takes the grace of God, because my mentor can actually be so busy that you might not even see her for the rest of the year. I'm so grateful to God for the knowledge that has been transformed. In fact, hey, my mother in the industry has taught me one thing. She's taught me to be very fearless. No, if you see me, if you hear Mrs. Eunice in the industry, you know that she's one strong, fearless woman. There's nothing you can do to even say or bring her down or any other. I'm not sure there's anything you can actually do, because by the time she's already negotiating and speaking with you, you will definitely have a change of mind. And she's really taught me to be very fearless in this industry. There have been times that, I have told her that, there are some things I'm going through, and, she would advise me. And, I also look up to her. She inspires me a lot. She inspires me in her journey. And, it's also important that you look towards somebody that can inspire you, and one way or the other, follow through their footsteps, right? If you actually want to be another sections of being successful in life, right? There's somebody that you look up to, and it's important that you also can follow their footsteps, right? So we don't have so much time, and we're against time, so I'm just gonna, with one welcome again, please, can we just stand up and please welcome my mentor, my mother in the industry, Mrs. Eunice Adeyemi, please. Can we clap? Thank you.
Hi guys, am I using this?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sit. So I'm actually privileged to follow Uncle Shola. It was interesting that Jennifer had us both speaking on the same day. So to have both of us in the same room means a lot, guys.
Yes.
He's my brother, not just business-wise, but even literally, he's my second half, to be very honest. And you can imagine, we are in the same industry. We do the exact same thing. We do events for a living. And he mentioned that. But we are the first in the industry to collaborate. So to have two people who are doing the exact same thing and collaborate in Nigeria, we know is very rare, right? Because we all know it's about backbiting, and I'm better than you, and like, why you want to steal my business? We are the first, and people are still wondering, Abi Amshola, how it is that we're able to do what we do and do it so well and so effortlessly. And I think that a lot of the things that he mentioned earlier, and some of the things that I'm going to talk about now are going to be some of the things that will help not only your business, but help your personal life as well. So my name is Eunice Adeyemi. I run a company called Q21 Solutions. We are an experiential agency in Nigeria. We've been here for 16 years. So whenever I talk about what we do, it's always very funny. We decided to only do corporate clients. So we're very specific. I don't do social events. You cannot pay me to do social events. If you see me doing somebody's birthday party, not wedding, birthday party, it's because they're very close to me. Like, we are like, you're related to me in one way or the other. That's why we're actually doing your birthday party. Clients, birthday parties, we don't. Weddings, when clients come to us, we refer them to other people. So I'm comfortable in referring. Uncle Shala was very right. I'm okay to tell you no. I really am okay to tell you no. Our docket is fully booked. Like, we finished an event, 3-day event. We're both leaving today. We got an event tomorrow. They have an event today. Like, we're like fully booked. So we're okay to say no. But we've always been okay to say no. So even when we didn't have our docket fully booked, we were comfortable in saying no because we understood who we were. So I'm supposed to talk to you guys about brand identity, right? And for me, when somebody says brand identity, what does that mean to you? So Shala and I are exactly like, please, I'm very interactive. I don't know how to talk to myself. Yes. So tell me, what's brand identity to you? Yes, name and what you do. Quick, so that.
My name is Victoria Edwin, and I'm a perfumer. Brand identity has to do with what people can identify you as. Like,
this side of the room? You guys are too quiet. These guys have been interacting and engaging. So tell me, brand identity. Yes, ma'am. Who was on the phone talking when Shola was talking? Very rude, but anyways, you can see I'm very concise and to the point. No problems.
My name is Kenny Oden. I own the clothing business. For me, brand identity is, let's say in the clothing business industry, is like when police sees a particular thing, they can identify it to your brand. Let's say, like myself, like you see my business or my online presence, you be able to identify that, oh, this is like high-end, clean, luxury from the lack of the culture of the world. So that's my identity. I feel like it's how you put yourself out there.
Okay. How you put your product out there or how you put yourself out there? Which one? Which one?
Sorry?
Your product or yourself?
Both.
Okay, both. So you've nailed it, right? So when, and I'll use myself as an example, which is important. So when I walk into your room, you know I ooze confidence, right? You see me, I ooze confidence, excellence all the time. My hair is always on point, my nails are on point. Like even as they are right now, somebody says, oh, they look lovely. I'm like, no, 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 I need to get them changed. I'm going back to Lagos this afternoon. I'm going to get them changed. Makeup needs to be on point. Why? Because I have to ooze excellence, because my business is excellence. So when you see me, you must see excellence. Because I want you, when I'm going to talk about my business, you would then see excellence. We did Africa Magic Viewers Choice for 9 years in a row. We were the first company ever in Nigeria to do AMVCA. And we did it 9 years in a row. Uncle Shola and I collaborated for us to do that event for 9 years in a row. Every year we did it, we had to up that game. We did Martell, we did Jameson, right? We just finished Africa Re. All of the OEMs in Nigeria, so Oracle, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, they are our clients. Right? It didn't happen by luck or by chance, nor by the accent that I have. So I was born and raised in Toronto, lived my entire life in Toronto, and moved to Nigeria. This year makes 20 years that I've been in Nigeria. And I didn't have family or friends in Nigeria, so, and I don't know anybody. I don't have a godfather, don't have a godmother, so it's not that. It is the work of my hands, and every time I do it, I'm upping the game. So when you talk about a brand, you're talking about you as an individual first. How do you want them to see you? You do fashion, and I look at some people that say that they're doing fashion, I'm like, I will not buy anything you're selling. I don't do fashion, but your dressing is not telling me that you are fashionable. Or you're doing makeup, and I'm looking at your face, and I'm like, you can't touch my face. Or you do hair, and your hair's out of place. Or you're a model, and you're not even standing up straight. You're not sitting straight. Like this, so there's everything that oozes your brand, even if you are not in that moment selling yourself. You're always selling yourself. You're selling products. You're selling juice. You're selling food. I don't care what you're selling. You have to ooze that particular thing. And you can't say, oh, because I came for training today, that's why I didn't do makeup. No, no, no. You're a makeup artist every day, twice on Sunday. When you wake up, you're glowing makeup. I'm not on the runway right now. No, no, no. Everything is a runway. Every aisle is considered a runway because you're a model. Because that's your brand. Your brand identity speaks for you before you even walk into the room. They need to feel your presence. And then when you get there, let what you say be of repute and value. So yes, I may hire you once because of you look very nice, you look lovely, and you're white, you're sitting well, very prim and proper. I can hire you once. But if you don't deliver that first time, I won't give you a second chance. I won't. So every one of our businesses, our business at Q21 is 99% referrals. So I don't go out looking for work. And guys, it's not arrogance, it's not pride. It's just because once you come to us, I guarantee you that you will get excellent service. My staff ooze excellence, I ooze excellence, because that's our watchword. That's my brand. So I'm not going to compromise the brand for anything. So when Uncle Shola was talking about pricing and say, no, we don't negotiate it. We never negotiated it. So whatever you're not going to accept, there's a Yoruba proverb. Is right now my brain is a bit tired, but you know what you will not accept when you're poor. Who knows it? Sorry for too young Gen Zs. But there's a Yoruba proverb that what you won't accept when you're poor, what you won't accept when you're rich, you don't accept it when you're poor. So as you're building, what you know that by the time you are a billionaire, you will not accept it. Start saying it now. No. Start saying it now. Because the aspiration is that you're going to make it, you're all doing something so that you can make it, right? What are you doing? PR. So you're doing PR and marketing because eventually you want to be like a Bobby Taylor, you want to be like a Redrick, right? So those are my abulos in the industry. Literally, those guys, you off. If you're coming into Nigeria, you want to be Redrick, or you want to be with Redrick, or you want to be with Bobby Taylor. Those are the two PR agencies you want to be with that are Nigerian, homegrown. So if you want to get to that level, as you are now, what those two people are doing, you're looking at them and you're aspiring to say, what are they doing? Can I go and intern with them? And when I say internship, please, it's like internship to go and learn, not to say that you know how to do something, right? Jennifer is my mentee, and she's very right. Time is precious. So when she has a moment to sit with me, I'm very, very clear and concise. This is what are you doing? No. Move. No. Fix it. This is what you need to do. So you need to find the right person that you're going to hang to their coattail so that they can teach you how to build your brand the way that you want to build your brand. But you need to understand, what do you want to do? What do you want to do in PR? PR is so vast. Should I talk about what do you want to do in fashion? And please don't do the typical things. 16 years ago when we opened Q21, we could have done what everybody else was doing. Weddings, birthday parties, because that's where the money was at, honestly. Every weekend is a wedding. Is it not Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Somebody's doing something on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday self, because what? Is a wedding. That's the money. Funke Buckner will tell you, she will tell you there's money Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We could have done it, but we choose not to. Why? Because I knew what I wanted my brand to stand for. So 16 years ago, yes, we weren't making money out the front door, but now, Funke will tell you the same thing. That the corporate guys are the ones that are literally making the most money. And I'm doing it one day. Or we're doing it 3 days because the client decides that they want to have a cocktail, an anniversary, and a symposium, and an AGM. That's the only reason why a corporate client is 3 days. Normally, it's really just one day. But I'm different from everybody else from a corporate perspective. So I'm tying this back into your brand and understanding what your brand is. There are very few of us that only focus on corporate events in the industry, where we don't do anything else. Very few of us. Literally count them on one hand. We know each other. But ours is different. So we take your brand and we tell a complete story about your brand. We tell a complete story. We do a full 360 from inception to the end. We tell your story when you're doing an event with us, unlike other companies where you just give it to them and they take your corporate brand and then they execute it. There are other secrets there that I'm not giving because they're trade secrets. But we know what we're trying to do, and we're not deviating from it for anybody. I like to tell this story. I'm sure I touched on it, so 2 stories. Coca-Cola is one of my clients as well. Love them. They've been with us for now 15 years. I don't make any money from Coca-Cola. Not a dime. I actually do the events for them at a loss. I don't make money from them. We haven't. But yeah, we still do events for them. I'll tell you why we don't make money from them. Not that they don't pay, they do pay. But their payment terms are, like corporate clients, their payment terms are 120 days before we get paid. So those are the payment terms. Do people understand what payment terms are? Everybody understand? If you do, please speak up or don't be embarrassed. You don't. Thank you, because I know if I ask certain people certain rules, they won't understand. So for corporate clients, we don't get paid up front. We actually have to pay for the client's events from our own pockets. And then they pay us within a period of time. Those are what we call payment terms. So payment terms, some clients are 30 days. I have some clients that are 30 days, so they pay me 30 days after I do an event. Some clients pay me 45 days after I do an event. Some clients pay me 60 days after I do an event. Coca-Cola pays 120 days after an event. Now you understand. You've done the math very quickly, right? Good. And the cost of Naira, we're all here, right? The cost of Naira, you can understand, right? You haven't given me a dime, and I've paid for, even if I paid for the event today, 10 Naira, I'm not collecting my money until 120 days later. How? I'm still paying staff. There you go. So they don't pay me for 120 days, right? So they're the longest, they're actually the longest in terms of payment. But the truth is, when I walk into a room and I'm sitting in front of international folks and I tell you that Coca-Cola, Nigerian beers, all of the OEMs are my clients, I've done Africa Magic Beers Choice of Awards, who are you going to go with besides me? Who? There's no other choice but to go with Q21 because of my client list. And then I tell you I'm 99% referrals. Don't take my word for it. Call my clients. Everybody knows everybody in Nigeria, right? So you can pick up the phone and call my clients. I have a client who was waiting for me to finish, and they don't know that I know this. A new client was waiting for me to finish this last event that I just did for 3 days in order for them to be able to give us the contract. Because they wanted this client to be able to refer me. And this client obviously gave me great glowing reviews. They were very happy, very ecstatic, loved it, and they were good. So, yeah, I'll let you guys know in the next session if I got, when I get it, because we'll get it. But it goes to literally the brand identity that we're trying to create. Now, Coca-Cola has a brand, so everybody wants to work with that brand because you want to be associated with that brand, right? I just told you, I don't make any, I'm okay to say, I don't. But I'm not right to do that because I want to continuously be able to tell you that they are my client. I want to be able to have them as a client. But they're the only ones that have that 120 days contract wait time. Everybody else is fine. So they help me to make up the difference. So in business, you need to be able to decide strategically, understanding your numbers. Does this client make sense for me to have on my books? If it makes sense, I will have you on my books. I don't have to make money from you because I'm getting something else of value from you. Uncle Shola and I do work together. Does it make sense for me as an event company to have another event company that does production that I'm paying? Would it not make sense? Let's do the math. Would it not make sense for me to hire people to work for me to do production than to hire a whole other production company to do production? Wouldn't it? Think about it. Maybe, 6, 7 staff? I could hire 6, 7 staff that would do the work that Mahogany does for me at an event. It'd be cheaper. But why do I have them? A couple of things. Peace of mind. The moment I have them on doing their job, what they are excellent at doing, I can focus on other things. So in your business, you need to not just think about, or in your career, you need to not just think about, okay, you know what? I can make money here, I can make money there, let me cut this point. No, I don't need to do Figure out who's going to help you along in this journey. Corporate-wise, company-wise, so this person I want to be associated with, business-wise, I want to do business with this person. Or who do I need to work with and collaborate with so that I can actually focus on who I am? As we talked to be, I'm sure and I counseled a model once. Can you do your own makeup? Yes, really. I mean, I did my own makeup this morning. I still look decent enough to walk on a runway, right? So you can do your makeup for, by and large, you can learn on YouTube to do your own makeup for Pete's. Oh, yeah, right? You guys are the Gen Z's, talk to me now.
Yes.
Good, no. Don't worry, my daughter's 21 and my son's 26, so I look like this just because I like to look good. But anyways, so you can do your own makeup, right? So you can, but you actually, if you hired somebody who their whole job was just doing your makeup, they focused on your makeup alone, they would do a superb job every time, and you don't have to think about that. You could focus on getting your mind right, I need to walk right, get my shoes right, my hair needs to be, like, you can focus on what needs to be done when you're walking down that runway. And just pay somebody. So you work hard enough to make sure you can collaborate with the right people. Uncle Sean and I do every event at I would say maybe 80% of the events we do at Q21 Solution, Mahogany is doing production for us. I factor it into my budget, so I stop thinking about it. What's your budget? Your budget is this, Abby. Uncle Sean, no problem. Mahogany, this is the line item. I tell my clients, this is the line item for production. Are you paying for it? You're not paying for it. We can't do the events. Because I don't want stress. I want to live long and keep looking like this. So you need to figure out what is it that is important to you first. My health is important. My health is very important. My peace of mind is important. Excellence is important. Those three things are non-negotiable. So for that reason, what is going to make sure that I will always be able to deliver excellence or collaborate with the people that will not stress my beloved life, my vendors, everybody, we all understand what is required to ensure that my Q21 brand is identified as excellence in the market. When you walk into rooms and you say Q21, like, oh yeah, that company, they don't see the lady with the red hair. Say, ah, those guys, oh, they did that event. Were they the ones that did that event? And if anybody sees an event that looks really good, guys, the first question they ask is, was it Q21 that did that? In the industry, that's what happens. Am I happy about that? I'm ecstatic about it. When it's not mine, I'm going to go and look, okay, what did this person do? Okay, this is good. And I call the person up and I say, fantastic job. Last week I called 2 people in the industry. I said, oh, phenomenal. No, they did well. Papa, I saw the work and I was like, nah, that looked really good. It doesn't take anything from my skin. But I was able to tell my own staff that, guys, look at this work that this guy did. It actually looked really good. Look at this branding. Look at how they placed it. Look at this wall. This is nice. Not because I'm trying to steal their work either. I literally am just looking at the brand to say, okay, how can I be better at what I do in the industry? Not to say, okay, next time I'm doing an event, I'm going to make sure, next time I'm going up, I'm going to make sure I put this blue scarf on my hair because it looks really nice on this gear. That's not, no, that's not, she's not me. But can I look at her and say, okay, I really liked how she did that. Or next time I put braids on my hair, maybe I can wrap my hair like that and then put my hair down. But it really won't look good because she's got a chocolate color, so, but I'll try something. I'm taking that to make me better. So when you're admiring people in the industry that you're in, whichever one it is, admire them from the perspective of how can I look at them and be better at what I do? Because we can't all live to make all the mistakes in the world. What do? See, you missed the 1 minute, you missed the lift. You missed the lift. How can you not know what you do? Tell me what you do. You're an editorial model. Okay, I can see that. Okay, yes, it's okay, I can see that. So as an editorial model, right, you've got to ooze the confidence level of, I ask you first, you literally are from inside saying it, because that's your brand. Now note, your brand can change as well though, guys. So today, right now, yes, we're doing experiential marketing, right? In another 3 months, Q21 will still be doing experiential marketing, but we're going to branch out and do other things, right? Because we have to evolve. So the same way that I keep saying your brand is so important, when National Theatre was thinking of who's the event company that they want to manage the event space, they thought of us. I don't own a space. I don't own an event. I don't own an event center. So why would you think of us? Can you think? Why would they think of us? It's a return answer. It's the brand identity. So you want to, now when people are booking National Theatre, they are calling Q21 to book a space and have a conversation about a space. And the reason why is because they know that, okay, when you come, not only are we going to help you to sell the space, we're also going to be able to tell you what you can do in this space. So guys, as you're building this now, right, you need to realize and recognize a few things. And I've said this a couple of times. What are the 3 things that are important to you? And note, I say 3, find them. Figure them out, because everybody's is different. Figure them out. What are those 3 things? And make them non-negotiable. To your family, they're not, everybody around is non-negotiable. My kids will tell you, my mom will go and do her hair, nails, and makeup. Her hair, nails, and massage is going to happen once a month. They don't care. I don't care. And I've been like that since they were babies. My son is the first, and he was born. When he was born, I had to take my nails off. I'm telling people this thing. Took the nails off. Because it's first child, she's like worried. I'm like, by end of second week, I was like, I can't do this. This kid will survive that day with scratches and all. I went back and I put my nails on. Non-negotiable. I love him to death. He's my favorite guy in the world. But it was non-negotiable. My daughter came out. My nails were on permanently. They were on. Let everybody be okay. Do you understand? So there's some things you have to decide early. What are those 3 things? And note, I'm telling you this now, so that when money comes, when wife, husband, whatever it is comes, you already have those principles in place, and they're not moving. So your brand won't shift because of the wind. Because seasons will come and seasons will go. And if you do not have these principles already deep rooted in you, you will start to move like a leaf on a tree. So your mindset is so important. It is so important, guys. So you don't take anything. Literally, you can decide. I didn't hear anything this woman said beside her being red hair and she loves her nails and she's very vain. Okay, let's. Point is 3 things. Figure out what those 3 things are for your career, your business, whatever it is. Figure out those 3 things. Hold it on for dear life, so that whatever comes your way, whatever it is, you can simply say, you know what? I am not shifting because of this. And when I say I'm not shifting, I'm not shifting. I'll make room. So maybe this week I can't do, maybe today I can't do my nails, my massage today, but I'll do it tomorrow. And if I can't do it tomorrow, maybe I'm definitely going to do my hair on Sunday. You can see I've been walking 3 days of no sleep, but I'm saying the 3 non-negotiable ones. I thought about it. I'm going to I fit it in. Right? I fit my gym in 3 days a week. I don't care who wants to do whatever you want to do. Any madness, however I need to adjust it, I will fit my gym in 3 days a week. If I have to go in the early morning, I have to go in the afternoon, I have to go in the evening, I will do it. I will do my run once a week on the road, 15 kilometers. Everybody can go to Blaze. I don't care. Because what did I say? My health is important. I'm not doing it because of anybody. I'm not running a marathon. I just want to do it for myself. And then excellence is non-negotiable. I don't falter on it. Let's not, the wall is bent, no. Then we're not putting a branding on this wall. Like the wall is bent, we all know we live in Nigeria. The wall is not straight, nothing. Then the branding is not going on this wall. Do you understand? Clients' values and moral systems does not align to my own values and moral systems. No. Thank you, but no thank you. So it's really important, guys, as you're building your brand now, as you are building your various brands now, right? It is important that you decide what is important for you, right? And always remember that people are watching. So people are watching. If you remember, the lady that's doing content, she was on the phone. I remember. The people that came in late, I remember. We're always watching. We're watching and we're listening. Was that an intelligent question she asked? Yes. Was that an awesome answer she gave you? Yes. I hope she tapped into the answer she gave. The answer she gave you is an answer that somebody sees in 10 years can give you. Because it wasn't about your business. She's telling you about how do you bring other people to see your business in a space where you're trying to market. It's not just about you. But she told you that just flippantly. So people are watching, people are listening to you. How are you presenting yourself? What are you doing? So I've gone off my notes. Now I'm going to get to close because I want to answer questions because that's where I thrive. So guys, I've shared my history. What else is there I want to make sure I told you guys? Because Jennifer gets to suck and sip from the knowledge whenever she can see and hear what you know you're loved. All right, so I needed to make sure I wrote this part down though, guys, because I think it's very important, right? I've talked to you guys already about your own personal brand and making sure that you understand your brand and you are always living your brand, always living your brand. So even when you're in the airport, you are living your brand like everybody's watching you. What do you do for a living? Yes, sir. Digital marketing. Good. All right. Lady with the child. So I respect that 110%. Like I saw you, I want to help you carry your baby because I love babies. What do? You're a fashion designer. You see, I can see that. Guess why? Okay. So you sat down with your son, and I thought, okay, this is interesting. I wonder, does she actually dress her son in the same color as she dresses herself every day she goes out? Like that's what my mind thought. As I say, everybody's watching. So we're watching. The world is watching you to see how are you presenting. Like, what do you do? Sorry? You're a flight announcer? Okay, no, that's a problem. You can't be a flight announcer. Well, no, in Nigeria, you could be a flight, because I barely heard you. But you understand? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Exactly. What your profession is needs to ooze out of you all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. So if you ask me what you did, what my next thing would be, you're a flight announcer, okay, what you need to pronunciate much better, you need to speak better, you need to sit better, like, because you are pronouncing the flights. People need to hear their flights. Right? Smile. Life is not that hard. Smile. Alright, so I've talked to you guys about that. I've also talked to you guys about something that I need to make sure you guys understand and you walk away with: collaboration. I touched on it just a little bit, but I think it's so important. The Nigerian market doesn't understand how effective collaboration is. Collaboration isn't just about what you can get from the other person, but what you can give to the other person as well. So in my collaboration with Mahogany, what do you think I give them? You don't know what I get from them, right? Peace of mind, production, I don't have to worry about it. What do you think they get from me? Sorry?
Exposure to new clients.
Exposure to new clients? No. Exposure, not new clients, because they're not taking my clients. But they get exposure. So every time they do an event and they post on their page, they get to post that they did a blue chip. But blue chip isn't their client, blue chip's my client. They get to post that they did Africa Magic Viewers Choice Awards. Africa Magic Viewers Choice Awards is not their client, right? But when they're now going into a room and they're talking about production, they get to say, oh, we did production for Africa Magic Viewers Choice Awards, we did production for SAP, we did production for Oracle, we did production for, like, they get to list my clients as their clients. They're not lying, right? So for a collaboration, the win for them is that they get to have all of my clients as their clients. So I needed to make sure I collaborated with the right people, because you cannot walk in and say that you're doing AMVC, oh, I did production for AMVC, and you're not delivering excellence. No. Because everybody knows Q21 handles that client. So they also need to ooze excellence in all they do. When they're doing Lafarge, they're doing it in excellence. Lafarge is not my client, but Lafarge is theirs. And they're doing it in excellence. When people see their page, they see all of the events they do, and they get to talk about mine. So for them, that's the win. So when we come together, it's not a negotiating of Toro Kobo. No. It's not the Toro Kobo that we're talking about. We're talking about, okay, so what's the event about? Okay, how do we move forward? What can I do? How do I support you? How do I make it better? Because they know what they're getting from me. Right? So collaboration is very important. You need to figure out who do you want to actually collaborate that would help to build your brand, and then who in return, or what in return are you giving to them as well as part of the collaboration? What's the benefit of them collaborating with you? Because you may be also not very collaboratable. You want to collaborate with me? No, thank you, but no. Right? So you need to make sure that you're also able to add value to someone else. And I'm sure I talked about not everybody can make it. Please, let's be very sincere. Not everybody can. Not everybody's. When I say make it in all the same professions. So not everybody can be PR to the level of Frederick and Bobby Taylor. Not everybody can. So in truth, maybe it's not about doing, and I'm picking on you now, sorry, Uncle. But maybe it's not about just being PR. Maybe I should pivot and do something within PR. Maybe I just handle media within PR, so I can offer service to the PR agencies, right? So you've got to figure out what is it, if modeling is not working for me, is there a service I can render to those in the modeling industry that would then ensure that I'm still in the industry, but it's a service that I'm rendering? What is that? Models need to eat food, models need to, they need nutrients, they need this, like, figure it out. Honestly, guys, Nigeria is the best place for us to live. I swear. There's too much work. You don't have to steal, you don't have to lie. There's work to be done. You just have to figure out what service can you render that other people would be able to buy. So yes, it may not be working out like this. Don't get discouraged. Is there something else I can do within this sphere that I'm in? I'm selling juices now. Selling juices is really not working because everybody and their brother is not selling fresh juice. That really is not really fresh juice. But anyways, let's move on from that. everybody's selling it. Is there something else I can do? Can I start doing wellness programs, right? Can I start, like, there's always stuff to do. And if you can't figure it out, find somebody that you can sit under that could mentor you to figure out all the other areas and possibilities that could be there. Because guys, there are other possibilities. The market is too big. The market is way too big. So don't get stressed, don't worry, don't panic. Don't panic, don't worry. The market's big enough for all of us to thrive. Okay, good. So I touched those 2 points. So now I'll read this part. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys with one final thought, right? So remember this, which is very important. Your brand is not your logo. Even though, for me, my brand is my logo. Can anybody guess what Q21 stands for? Just a guess. Remember? Question? Nope. Nope. Q21.
Quest.
Nope.
Wing.
Nope. Huh? I love it. So we're also, remember, we're an experiential agency, so creative experiential agency. So think along those lines. Q21. Okay, I'll make it easy for you. So it's cute one. And I'm the cute one. Ah, I know. Nobody ever gets it. Okay, so nobody ever gets it. So yeah, that's what Q21 stands for. So it's cute one. So cute one's solutions. I'm the cute one. And I give you solutions. So you have to remember everything is deliberate and intentional. Girl, man, did I pass? Small, I tried. Right? So everything needs to be intentional and deliberate when you're actually doing stuff. You can imagine 16 years ago, we're trying to figure out names. And that was what it was, right? So Q1 solutions. Okay? So Q21. So I just said that because I needed to give you guys a joke. But in truth, right? So in truth, guys, your brand is not your logo. Know your colors. And I've got a rainbow of colors in my brand. But your brand is not, that's not it though. It's not your website or even your marketing, to be very honest, guys. Those are simply expressions of something. Yes, sir. Yeah. Looking dead at you. Look very good, by the way. Very nice cut. Not because you're yellow, I'm just saying that. Yes. So one thing you took away. Integrity. Yeah, that's important. That's important. Yeah. Gentleman with the baseball cap. I'm looking at you. Yes, one thing that you learned, sir.
What I learned from you.
Yes, sir.
Basically,
I'm only talking. I don't know about anybody else you learned from, but me. Yes.
so I wasn't here when you started. I just came in at the tail end when you were. Hi, my name is Lawrence. I'm happy to be here. First time I'm attending a master class. Model. I only came to assist my friend. Mostly organized with that of Lagos. So basically, I just heard you speak a bit when I walked in, and I love the fact that you said you swing from sciences, computer science, and you're doing what you have passion. So I learned that basically I tell people, and this is like a confirmation of what I've known over the years, you make more money from something you really enjoy doing. Anything you find passion in doing, like you wake up, even without having your back, you walk into a laptop, you want to do something exciting. Those are the things that will give you utmost joy, and in that joy, make another point from it. And it's a strong, you see people come from work, and they tell me their workspace is very passive, this, that, that, this, that, that, they have to enjoy what you do. And I always tell them, why don't you just quit? And they go, what will I do when I quit? And I remember the former speaker saying that sometimes it's not about going to work. You can be in a space and make more money with that time. The period you wait, you're not finding fun, joy in what you do, can give you another insight. I used to tell my mom, I remember I always argue because I'm very, like you said, you're not very close with my mom. And we argue, and I thought, well, can you just stop, take a break, not do anything, and just focus. Just think and see something new will just come. So I enjoy the fact that you said you switch from sciences and you're doing I did professional courses. It's in science, it's doing economics. And I'm happy about what I've always done. I've never worked in any establishment.
Learning is important.
Anywhere I go, no matter how big, small, high, low, I learn something from it. I got so much from the former speaker.
Mr. Shala.
You know, almost before, all through before I left to take some call and do some work on my phone. But saying, I'm very, very delighted, and I hope everybody has the same mindset to come and learn something new from this program.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Lady in red, I saw you, don't worry. Oh, and you even have a mic. Okay.
All right, good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
My name is Dongnan, and I am a law student, and yeah, I just came here to learn more about modeling and the creative industry. So what I learned is that you need to leave your brand. Like, you need to leave your brand. Like when someone sees you, they should be able to see that, oh, this is probably what this person is doing, oh, this is probably what this person is doing. And another thing that I learned is that trust is the most valuable currency. And I think that if people are inclined to come back here and refer you to other people because they know.
don't put it in front of you. You fear speaking, you fear what, then put it in front of you. The only way that you're able to do that is the only way you can get over it is that nobody else can help you. And you're not dressing for anybody, you're dressing for yourself. Own it, who cares? Men look at you, women look at you, who cares? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's only God's opinion that matters, and trust me. Alright, so yes, I know you're hiding, don't worry. This man has decided that he's going to save you like 2 seconds because I'm going and I'm flying to the airport. I'm going to the airport. Yes, sir. Your chocolate is amazing, my girl. Like black and beautiful. Alright. It's what I learned from what you spoke is turning your weakness into strength. Because I remember back then, my dad used to be my insecurities because I don't want to teach. Because I grew up in a society in Nigeria where if you're dark skinned, it's not a beauty standard. And I won't teach. So when I was in high school, I realized that. So I think the way Nigerians, the way black Africans and African Americans are different. So when I was in school, it was getting a hold of me, and I was like, I need to turn my weakness into strength. And after I graduated from high school, I then said to myself, I want to be an editorial model because if you're dark skin, you're not considered beauty standard. So why not turn it into my strength? Because now I can confidently come out and say I'm an editorial model. And when someone look at me, they'll be like, oh, yes, I'm an editorial model, and I want to book you. So imagine if I had bleached. Yeah. I won't be here. I won't be an editorial model. Yeah. So that's what I learned. So I wouldn't have complimented you because I would have seen the bleach. Your knuckles would have been black. I would have told you that. I can't hide things. I would have told. But no, you're right. You're right. Turn your weakness into strength and own it, guys. That's one of the lessons I've learned in the last, in this lifetime. If I could pass it on to anybody, just own your weakness. If you can own it, sell it, and let people know up front. I'm weak in this area, then they can't hold it against you. So you are my last person, and I'm oh, sorry, Jennifer still giving me a chance. Yes, I'm giving you time. Help me. What did we learn? You're not saying to your friends.
No, sometimes I do say no, but I feel guilty. And also learn something about you being carry yourself and sometimes, or even though you are an introvert, because you are bold and also outside.
Thank you. I'm not bold, but thank you for saying that. I'm bold. No, but it's important to let you know it's but yeah, thank you for saying that. So at least I'm presenting what I want to present, right? As being that person that's bold and confident. So thank you. Just fantastic. Age doesn't matter. Great. Love it. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
So I'm Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
And
Nice to meet you. I have 4 sisters, by the way, so no brothers.
okay, so I'm a model, an editorial, and also a runway. I'm being because of height, something like that. So I picked up these 3 negotiable. You must have the 3 negotiable.
3 non-negotiables.
3 non-negotiables. So sorry. That puts you out there. I think I do actually have a problem with that because while I was in school, I think it was very easy for me to probably get both for editorials because when I walk out, they say they do like they love the color of my eyes, that I have the looks from it. Yeah, so coming back here, so I'm coming back to Abuja. It seemed so hard to actually put myself out there. Yes, and so I tend to like shrink myself to be accepted or to
actually get what I want out there. So this, I think I kind of found my stand that I should have these three things. That either way, if I'm not being picked or I'm being picked, my non-negotiables are out there, and it's two one.
Very good. Love it. I'm mommy dearest. I'm mommy dearest. Are you giving me the things? I'm so sorry. As you can see, this is my personality. I always just very honest. Yeah. This young lady, the fact that it's very important. Trying to of course, that was a year long thing. Right? So you need to collaborate. So she wants to model. You have clothes. Put them on her. They're going to be modeling them and taking pictures. Is there a photographer? No photographers? Digital content creator, right? Create content for that. Put it on your page. He markets it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 people collaborating together. So you can then help creatives. So see what I'm saying, guys? So, because there's always opportunities to collaborate. We just have to wait and figure out what are you giving in return. You're giving her clothes to wear. She's giving you a body to put it on. You're giving them like everybody is getting something. So we win. That costs you guys nothing. Because you're all learning together. Free. So when you leave here, you need to find at least 4 to 5 people you're going to collaborate with. Post this. If not, it was a waste. I went to school and had like 6 people that I went to do business with across the world. The class is coming to Nigeria next year. But I have 6 people from across the world that I need to do business with. So you pay for something, but you have to take something out, not just what you learn in the room. Right?
I wanted to speak, but
Like I really want to. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. I was supposed to come and see this. So I apologize.
That is actually what we discussed with our very passionate.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because one of my prayers back there was, Lord, please. Thank you.
Years ago, I needed a room like this. A room where somebody who has done it in my industry would look me in the eyes and say, "Girl, you're not crazy. Just keep going." But that room didn't exist. So I built it. This Friday is called In Full Bloom and it's completely free. 3 reasons why you should be in that room. You will be in a room full of people who actually first, you will be in a room full of people who actually gets it. Models, founders and creatives who understand exactly what the journey cost. And second, you will hear from people who have been on the same road that you're on right now and they are not holding back but making waves globally. And third, it costs you nothing actually but a yes. One day, one room, the Meyer Hall, Metama, Abuja. I truly believe that some of us were made for a time like this. So don't watch your season from the sidelines. Come
Right? Then I told you what I stood for. What do I do? Now we are getting to the third part is why should people trust you? Why should people trust you? The only way, the reason why you say, oh, you are trusting me is basically because of the things you hear about me, the things you say. If you to talk to us about confidence. I saw what she did in Project Fame. I saw she was confident. Those are the things they see. That's why I say the impression you leave. The minute I come on that stage, I finish performing. There's an impression. That is what our judges and audience. That's what they use in judging me. Whether is she going home or she's staying? Are we voting for her? Or we are not voting for her. You know when they do all those competitions and they have people standing, right? After they finish dancing, they say, stay or go. People say, go. They stay. It's the impression that they left with you. Oh, she can dance. I love the way she was dancing. She was dancing. Right? We talked about skills. So those things, and you see how we are putting different parts of lives and everything is coming together. We talk about the skills. We talk about her communication. So as the class goes on, we'll be, interacting with other things like the character, appearance, consistency, and so on and so forth. So let us now understand what confidence is, right? So confidence is often misunderstood by many people. It is often misunderstood. Now some persons will say, this boy has confidence because he just walks inside the room. The next thing he walks out, hey, oh, they don't feel like, because you are the loudest in the room, you are confident. In fact, most of the time when you see some persons, they are very loud and they talk every time before you even finish talking, they have interrupt you. Most of the time they have an esteem issue. Most of the time they are scared. They have an esteem issue. They just want to show, hey, are they? They're not confident. It does not necessarily mean you are confident, right? It does not necessarily mean that, you will not feel nervous when you are confident. People that are confident, they feel very nervous. I can tell you for a fact that during Project Fame, when I'm coming in, every time, so recently, at church, because I sing in church, I am a Christian, I'm a proud Christian, right? And I attend the Harvestside International Church, and Pastor Bolaji is my pastor. Now, I can tell you for a fact that every time when I'm told to lead, even though I won Project Fame, even though I've sang on international stage, every time I'm told to lead, give us a special number. Hey, Jesus. Every song in this life, I cannot remember one. In fact, the minute you just feel I'm singing on stage, you see me. Hi. Next time I'm telling myself, I start speaking to myself. I'm always very nervous. So some persons feel like, if you are confident, you are most confident people that are not nervous. I was telling my friend, I was telling her, she was like, this girl has a nerve. I said,
And she's like, you now boss now, you can just go. I said, sister, I'm always nervous, because first and foremost, that stage is not the stage where you just go and just start to jump on. This is the stage where the is in. So I have to sing and dance and proclaim. I'm proclaiming, I'm not the Holy Spirit. I have to pass the Holy Spirit to people. Even before coming here to speak to you guys, there was a little bit of nerve. Because first and foremost, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. You don't know me. I'm coming here to preach. Like I said, I don't always know the song. I don't always know it. But guess what? The minute I climb on that stage, I pick up that mic because I speak to myself every time, which we are going to get to that part of the lecture. Because I speak to myself every time, right? The minute I climb on that stage, you see me. Once I open my mouth, you'll be like, she was ready. Okay? So let us move down to so let's move back to source of genuine confidence. Source of genuine confidence. Number one, competence. Competence. Have you noticed that when you know that you know something, or you read, let's give an example of examination, right? I know most of us have gone to school, some of us have written 1 or 2 examinations or tests, or even go for interviews, right? Even though no matter how small the interview is, if you prepare yourself for that interview, and you know this job, or you've learned how to, let's say you learned how to make hair, and because you are competent in what you are going to do, there is this confidence that comes with that competency. You know, you would, in as much as you have nerve, right? The minute you place your hands on that thing, or the minute you decide to say, let me do this thing, or the minute you open your mouth, because you have read, you have studied, you have prepared yourself, right? You just see yourself flying, and guess what? Whoever is listening to you, or whoever is interviewing you, or whoever is marking your script, will be like, this girl was ready, this boy was ready, because they can see it. All right. So let us write competence. Confidence grows from preparation. Confidence grows from preparation. The more you know, the more confident you become. Remember I said it. The more you know, the more confident you become. Knowledge builds confidence. Like I said, knowledge itself builds confidence. The minute you know something, I used to tell people, I say, anything I know, if you ask me, if I know something and you tell me, ask me about it, you see my mouth, I will talk. But the minute I don't know that thing, hey, you just see me, first of all, listen. I'll just be calm, I'm listening to you. Okay. Then I'll start asking relevant questions. Okay, so you said, so what do you mean by, at that point I'm learning. And that is one big quality of someone that tries to build his or her confidence. For you to be able to put yourself in that position of learning. I want to grow. I want to learn. That is one way you can build your confidence. But we're getting to that. Everything, we will learn it here today. All right. Self-awareness. Secondly, self-awareness. Self-awareness. It is very important for you to know your strength. It's very important for you to know your strength. So I always talk when I give lectures, when I talk in TED Talks, or when I talk in workshops, I always use myself as an example and other people that I know, right? So when during project thing, or anytime I go on stage and I'm singing, I tell people I'm not a rift singer. I don't rift. I don't know if you know what rift is. I don't do the whole, hey. I don't do all this with that's not, in as much I can do it because I have learned it. But it's not my strength. I know my strength. It is very important for you to be aware of your strength. So some persons feel like their strength is not. Do you know that no matter how, some people think that their strength is irrelevant. So if I run with model, please put your. We all have voice. We all can sing. That's the reason why we made it to the house. That's why we are in this academy together. So what I did is I studied everyone. I studied each and every, and I saw that they all had one thing in common. And there's also one thing they did not have that I had. I said, no, this one they don't know how to handle the stage. So I saw this, I saw a performance and I said, this one, this one, no, does not have it. The minute I know all their weaknesses, my strength to my advantage. I used my strength to my advantage. I became confident because I was self-aware. Don't know how to breathe. The minute, or even though the minute you start like this, you start shaking because why? You are not self-aware. You have to be self-aware. You have to know your weakness. You have to know your weakness. You have to know your purpose. You have to know your purpose, right? So we self their purpose. Self-awareness. Instead of trying to become someone else, you become the best version of yourself. Remember I said what I said. The example my teacher had to lift. I'm not getting it. No, I'm not getting it. Then the next thing, fear. I know my strength. I know